Zel boy Army, how are we doing today? Today's video is going to be a banger. I think it's a spicy one. It's something a little bit different. We are looking at 5 mistakes that gold players keep making. So I do private coaching. I've probably coached over 300 people by now, I'd say, over the last 2 years. I coach anywhere from people who can't qualify from weekend league to pro level players. Probably the average player that I coach, if I had to give like the average weekend league rank, would probably be around gold 2. Anywhere from gold 3 to gold 1 generally is where the majority of people that I coach tend to be, but I'd say gold 2 is about the average. And there's quite a lot of consistent mistakes that gold 2, gold 1 players tend to make, that if they could just get out of the game and stop doing it, they could maybe push to elite. So today's video is going to look at some of the mistakes gold players make, that if you're a gold player and you're watching this, you can think, okay, I can see this, I'm going to stop doing that and try to take my game to the next level. So this video, as always, on this channel is dedicated to helping you guys improve. If you like this type of content, please literally like the video, comment it, let me know what you think of it, and subscribe to the channel. Every day at 7 PM, new content, spicy stuff, helping you improve at FIFA. We're not just helping you improve at FIFA 20. I like to say I'm helping people be FIFA proof. I'm trying to help you improve just at FIFA in general, not just to adapt to the current meta. Obviously, I'll talk about the current meta and things that can help you on the game, but I'm trying to make you guys better at FIFA long term. That is what my FIFA career, so to speak, is dedicated towards. I'd encourage you sticking around to the end of this video, because there's going to be lots of different stuff that I talk about here that you don't want to miss out on. The first one that First one that I'm going to talk about is your tactics and your team. I go on about this a lot. We're not going to go into great depth about the tactics you should run. I'll check out yesterday's video to see the tactics I run. But so many people, when I play them, they just have weird teams. If you look at my team, it's about, how much? Maybe 2 million, which at this point in the game is really not a lot, but it's very meta. I've obviously used my red picks, but then I've got quick, physical defenders. I play Trent at CDM with Jordan Henderson. Bakayoko goes centre back. So I've got 2 CDMs who can shoot, pass. They're pretty good on the ball. My cam and striker Neyman Ben Yedder both have 5-star weak foot. I've got pacey wingers who can both shoot and dribble. One of them's got a 5-star weak foot, the other 4-star weak foot. I play so many people who I can tell I've beat them before the game because their teams are just weird. Okay, if you want to play with a fun team and some players that might not get you the best results, that is up to you. But a lot of people don't even realise that their team is drastically holding them back. Okay, if you've got 5 million budget, you can't go out and get mid R9 or something like that. But I have a 2 million team that is superior to lots of 5 to 10 mil teams that I play against in weekend league, because people are just picking stupid teams. I do plenty of videos on the best value players. One of the things that instantly will improve people is having a 5-star weak foot in your striker and cam. Most people tend to play 4-2-3-1, and that is so vital. It will change how you can play in front of goal because you will be far less predictable. And then tactics, having a game plan. So many people go into the game with one tactic. If it doesn't work, about the most they'll do is turn team press on and hope it changes. Not having a plan for different situations in the game is going to drastically hold you back. So I highly recommend you check out my tactics and have a tactic for when you're winning, losing, and to start a game off with. That will help you improve a lot. So tactics team is the #1 that lots of gold players I tend to find aren't doing the right thing there. Let's move on to a gameplay one. #2 on this list is passing and controlling the game. So many gold players that I coach, I find they tend to be able to read the game and spot the right areas they should be going to, but they're not using the right techniques for passing or controlling the game. At the start of this FIFA, passing was potentially a bit too easy, and they brought a patch in around November time that completely changed how you could pass at different angles. Now passing only really works quite effectively, or consistently I'd say, if you were passing facing the right way. Any pass now, where it's a 180 pass, even 90 degrees pass sometimes, tends to have a much higher failure rate. I think it's somewhat realistic to football, but you can have players like Kevin De Bruyne miss passes that they just wouldn't miss in real life. But 2 of the main things I'd say is weak foot matters massively when you're making a pass. If you're facing the wrong way on like a 3-star weak foot, the chance of it working are going to be very slim. But if you're making a pass facing the wrong way or first time, it's a much higher chance of a failed pass. So we'll look at this clip here. So look, keeping the ball fine, went backwards, that's good. Okay, there, he turns into trouble, and then he panics and just passes it backwards. You can see how much slower that pass was. It was on Guardiola's weak foot. I think he's got a 4-star weak foot, so it's not too bad. But the pass was a lot slower and weaker. It didn't ultimately matter too much because he had no attacker in the way to intercept it. However, I pointed that out at the time, saying he shouldn't be doing that. And then he does this here, and then this is on his strong foot, but it's at a complete opposite angle to the way he's facing. And because of that, he gives up an easy possession. If you watch it back, here, you should probably take a touch and go there, or take a touch this way and go backwards. Ultimately, passing is a simple part of FIFA, but it's a part of the game that a lot of people make simple mistakes on that end up costing them. If you give the ball away, that means you can't score. So you may give the ball away in a silly situation when there was no need to. That stops you having a chance to score. But as well, a lot of the time when I'm analysing games, okay, sometimes people get screwed over or something bad happens that they couldn't have really done much about. But a lot of the time when you look back, it's because they gave the ball away in a stupid manner. Not facing the right way, using players' weak foots at bad angles, making first touch passes, using the wrong type of pass. These are all things that mean you give the ball away cheaply. Ultimately, you should be looking for a minimum of 90% pass accuracy. Elite players tend to always be 90+% on the pass accuracy. A lot of goal players I find tend to hover around 80 to 85%. If you have 90% pass accuracy, that means you give the ball away 1 in every 10 passes. It could be better, but a lot of the time, that means that you've got enough chance to build a proper attack. Pro players tend to, like the top 100 players and above, tend to have 95% pass accuracy. If you're on 80% though, that means you're giving the ball away 1 in 5 passes. That is a huge difference between 1 in 10. Like I said, top 100, it might be 1 in 20 when it's 95%. But if you can take your pass accuracy from 80% to 90%, you're giving the ball away half the amount of time. That is huge and can make a big difference in not only just controlling the game, but giving your opponents less chances and giving you more chances. Okay, the next one I'm about to show you is probably the biggest one that could instantly improve gold play. So many gold players read the game alright and they generally know how to defend dribbling, but they put themselves in bad positions because they do not control the CDMs. On FIFA 20, if you can have your CDMs here and here and protect this area of the box, it is going to be so much harder for your opponents to score against you. But what I find is so many people just panic, switch to their defenders, and they put themselves in a bad position. So let's watch this here. See there? The person I'm coaching switches to Renato Sanchez, and as soon as that happens, his CDMs are already out of position and not defending. If he'd have kept Renato Sanchez there and controlled his CDM and just protected this area, this chance would never have happened. He panics there and switches to his centre-back. A second point I'm going to make to this third point is, on top of controlling your CDMs, jockeying around the box. You need to be jockeying about 99% of the time, I'd probably say, when defending. The only time I'm ever going to not be jockeying around the box is if there's a big open space that I have to sprint into. So you can see, the CDMs aren't really doing their job here. He pulls them out of position. CDM's just there watching. And from there, he's panicked, switched to his defender, pulled him out of position, and then it becomes a lot harder to defend there. And he wasn't using jockey as much, so he didn't have as much control over his defence. Holding the shape around this part of the box with the CDMs, keeping your back four in shape, will instantly make you so much harder to break down. And then when it comes to defending, using the jockey button will make a big difference. Jockeying slows you down, makes you a lot harder to dribble around, but it also increases the interception rate, the tackle success, blocking shots. But as well, if they turn quickly, you can read it a lot quicker. Whereas if you're not holding it, it's very easy to feel like your defenders are on ice skates and can't catch your attackers. We'll show another clip of this type of thing. Okay, in this clip, the person I'm coaching gets counter-attacked, but they could have made the counter-attack so much less dangerous. So one, they're controlling, I think, Neymar there. They could have pressed that a bit more to stop the ball going forward. I like to defend from the front with my cams a lot of the time. I just find it makes it a lot easier. But if they wasn't going to do that, they needed to switch to one of the CDMs and defend going backwards. So around here again. What I find a lot of people do is they leave a gap between the midfielders and leave their midfielders too high pushed up so that people can just make easy passes to the strikers or cam. And when you do that, it isolates your defenders against the cam and striker. You have to think about it this way. If you make a mistake with your CDM here, well, you've still got the back four in shape. If your CDMs are left up here because you've not switched to them, and you make a mistake with one of these guys, your opponent could be through a goal. So you see here, the opponent's already at the back four, and the two centre-backs effectively, with lots of space, and the CDMs have gone walkies, they're not doing anything. Not having your CDMs protecting the defence makes you so much more vulnerable, because when you've got all your men behind the ball in this game, it's very hard to break people down. But I find when people don't defend with the CDMs and leave space around here for to be an attack versus defence, so many more chances happen. So my opponent, the person I was coaching, had to then switch to the centre-back. Okay, he ends up blocking the shot, but it was a much more dangerous situation than it needed to be. Goal players, control your CDMs more, keep the shape, don't dive in, hold the jockey button around the box, and your defence will infinitely improve very fast. Okay, number 4 is about sprinting. Sprinting is something that I find too many people do on this FIFA, or they do on every FIFA. This is one thing that you can really carry over to pretty much every FIFA. There are too many sprintaholics on FIFA. It frustrates me watching it because I see it and people make so many simple mistakes just because they're sprinting. These are some of the things that happen when you sprint on the game. Your shooting's worse. Your tackling's worse. Your interception and block chance is worse. Your close control's worse. You can't do tricks. That instantly, all of those make you far worse at a lot of the key areas of the game. Sprinting for me is only something you should ever be doing when a massive amount of space opens up. So if I switch it, say, to there, I'll sprint for a couple of touches to get there a bit quicker. Or if, say, this guy's here, he's through-balled it and I'm chasing with this defender. Okay, I'll sprint him to catch him. But, as we showed in the last clips with jockeying, defender around the box, lots of people, when they're defending, sprint around the box too much. And when they sprint around the box, it makes it so much easier to dribble around them. We're going to show a clip here where the person I'm coaching gets into a really good position, but they sprint and ruin the chance. So look here. Lampard there is in a good position. There's no way that he's going to be, even if he had 99 pace, he wouldn't be able to do this. But with Varane 2 to 3 yards ahead of him, Varane is just going to cut this off. So Lampard, you can't really be sprinting this. And the person I'm coaching just sprints into danger and ruins a good chance. I talked about skill moves a few videos ago. I would recommend around the box trying to learn some of the skill moves that I talk about. But if you look here, what I would have done, I'll show you. I'd have taken that touch to get there a bit quicker, because there to there, there's open space to sprint into. But this, that's not open space. I would have done a dead stop fake there, turned, and then gone backwards and looked for the players. When you are sprinting, it just completely ruins a lot of the things on the game. You can't turn as quick. Your passing's worse, your shooting's worse. As much as possible, if you're about to shoot, try and take an extra touch without sprinting. Same if you're about to pass. When defending, if you don't have to sprint, slow down, use jockey. Your dribbling is probably the main thing on this game that is completely ruined when you're sprinting. So many people sprint and then they can't turn and do the sharp control. There isn't really a proper meta or efficient way of scoring on this game. The best way probably is the near post shot. It's not like last year where it's get down the wing, scoop it up, volley cross it, or volley from the edge of the box. This year is more about being unpredictable, being sharp, quick in the box, using the right tricks to catch people out, left stick dribbling. When you're sprinting, all these go out the window. Don't be a sprintaholic. Sprintaholics Anonymous, we are here for you. I don't want you to be sprinting loads. Let go of the R2, RT if you're on Xbox. that will instantly improve you. It might take a bit of getting used to, but you don't want to be sprinting too much. It's not good for your health. Okay, this is a very simple one, and there's probably a lot more points I could come up with. If you guys like this video, please let me know in the comments, and I'll make a part 2 to it, because I think I could make 10 more different points about things gold players do that elite players don't, and that could take them to the next level. This one is so simple, but I want you to watch this clip and see what happens. So he's got a goal kick. From the goal kick, he takes it to the fullback. The fullback here should win the ball. I don't really get what his fullback's doing. But the Messi jumps in front and takes the ball. But if you look here, what I do on goal kicks is I press the R1 button, it calls for the second player, calls everyone short, and effectively he will go there, he will go there, he will go there, and he will go there. And it's pretty much vice versa on the other side. When your players are there, your opponent can only control one player. If he marks this way, you just pass that way. If he marks that way, you pass that way. It is impossible, I mean literally physically impossible on this game, to lose the ball from a short goal kick if you take your time. And so many times when I'm coaching goal players and doing the analysis, they take the goal kicks long, or they rush them and they give the ball away. A bit like the passing we said earlier. If you give the ball away, that is a chance your opponent's got to score and a chance you don't have to score. It is a very simple thing, and a lot of the time the ways to improve on this game are very simple and are not rocket science. They're not going to take 10 hours of practice to fix, but just taking your goal kick shots. It's the same with throw-ins, corners. Don't cross it in on a corner. That's probably a whole separate point, but take it short. Throw-ins, take your time on them. Don't rush a throw-in. Ultimately, if you have a goal kick or a throw-in, you should never ever lose the ball, because you, at least in Ultimate Team, when you're against one person, they cannot mark all the options, and if they can't mark all the options, something will be free. But so many people rush it, force things, and take the time. They don't take the time. Sorry. If you take your time on a goal kick, you can just play it short to someone. You will never ever lose the ball. Some people maybe late. If it's late on, you need a chance quick. You might need to hoof it up the pitch to get it up there quicker. But 99% of the time, there's no reason to do any goal kick other than take it short. At a pro level, top 100, most elite players, when I play rivals, they never give me the ball on a goal kick because they just press R1, wait for the team to get in position, and take it short. As the people trying to get the ball off them, the defender, you can't intercept it, because if they go there, then there's like a force field where you can't get past there, so you can't even mark it. Take your time on goal kicks, keep the ball, keep the possession. Controlling the game is probably the one thing, if you learn anything from this video, that I want to teach you guys. For gold players, they lose control of a lot of games, and this is where they lose a lot of tight games. A lot of gold players that I coach have the capability of getting to elite quite easily. It's just that they don't control games, they lose the tempo, they start giving the ball away too cheaply, and this in turn leads to a lot of silly losses. Boys, I hope this video has helped you. If you can take these 5 tips into your game and start implementing them, they will massively help you improve. If you've ever been interested in having a coaching session one-on-one with me, where I can break down your gameplay in depth, go through 2 whole games with you, analyse them specifically, personally for you, please DM me on Twitter or Instagram, as I do offer private coaching. But boys, I hope this video has helped you. I appreciate your support a lot. Hope you're enjoying the spicy content we're putting on the channel. Be back tomorrow. Hope your weekend league goes well. I will be streaming around 10 PM UK tonight for anyone who watches this video at the start. Appreciate you all. I love the Zelboy Army, the support you guys show me. Have a spicy evening, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.